In 2012, Marissa Myers made headlines as she was about to become Yahoo's new CEO, but also about to become a mother.
Having a baby and heading a company.
One business pundit that compared it to Steve Jobs' cancer.
New CEO of Yahoo is pregnant.
And she's having a baby in October.
Announcing that she is 6 months pregnant.
And Meyer announcing via Twitter that she is pregnant.
That got me thinking, can you really have it all? I sat down with the ultimate momtrepreneur, Vickie Chiang, to get a closer look into her life as CEO of HS2 Academy when her 2 kids were still very young. So from talking with you previously, Vickie, I learned that you were born and raised in Taiwan.
Yes.
So Taiwan, as many Eastern cultures, have more of a patriarchal focus. They tend for women to study and then work for a little bit. Once they get married, kind of stay home. So you obviously have broken that mold. So how would you say in your professional career you've faced prejudice based on those stereotypes?
Okay, I'm glad that you introduced me to start with the traditional thinking, because the reason why I got into this business was because I want to take care of my children.
Okay.
So actually I started about 25 years ago.
Okay.
I started with kindergartens. I opened like a few kindergartens in Taiwan. The reason was because I didn't want to hire a babysitter to take care of my children. So I took the babies to my kindergarten so I can see them, I can take care of them, and doing my own business at the same time.
Okay.
So that was the main reason I got into this business. And then as my kids grow up, I realized they need like after school, they need college planning. So that's how I started HS2 Academy.
Okay. And from your Taiwanese community, has anyone ever kind of told you that because you were a woman, you were not fit for the job that you were doing?
I don't think that's the way people think now.
Okay.
But I think they kind of expect you to, if you choose to be a businesswoman, I think they kind of expect you to still take care of your family,
Right.
like the housework, cooking,
Right.
and your children. I think it's kind of like you need to do both if you
Right.
want to be a businesswoman. Yeah, Asian, including Indian, Chinese, Korean, we are very big in education.
True.
We care about like children's education. We want our children to get into like good colleges.
Yes.
And the Chinese happen to be one of the biggest community in
Sure.
this area.
Right.
So I think it's kind of like a coincidence, but the whole program didn't just target for the Chinese community.
So something that I've been asked quite a bit by other female aspiring business professionals is that they think that their college major and then their career has to match perfectly. They
Right.
can't have any slip-ups.
Right.
Is that the case for you?
Okay. You see, it's a very interesting question because when I was in college or before I started college, I didn't really know what I want to do.
Okay.
Like, as for career, right?
Right.
So I was always good in math.
Oh, okay.
So because I'm kind of like a logical person, so math is like very easy for me because I'm very good in problem solving. So I major in MBA finance.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Got it.
So, but then it's interesting because before I graduated from graduate school, I was recruited by Citibank, one of the biggest bank in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, at that time it was the biggest. And then before I was 23 years old, I was already the manager of Citibank. In Taiwan, I was the youngest Citibank manager in the company history. But then somehow I was not very happy with the work because, okay, so it's kind of like a long story, but I realized that it's kind of difficult for me to deal with numbers every day. But then my specialty is to explain things in a logical way. It's very interesting. I actually I'm very good in dealing with people,
Mm-hmm.
and then solving people's problem.
Mm-hmm.
So after I became an educator, I always liked this job.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, so actually I went back to school and got a degree in education
Wow.
after working for like 4 or 5 years in the
Okay.
education field. Yeah.
So I think something that's common with a lot of entrepreneurs of today's day, just like you did, you combined something that you loved and you found out what you didn't like for sure.
Right.
And then you backed it up with some education like your MBA in finance and you made it a whole business. I also noticed that you have a lot of the typical qualities that make a great business person. So you said that you were very logical, so good at explaining. So I think, in my personal opinion, I think communication is the most important skill you must have to be a business owner, because you're
Yes.
managing so many people.
Right.
They all need to be on the same page for your business to function properly.
Right.
So how would you say your communication has furthered HS2?
When you like something, you decide to turn it into a business.
Mm-hmm.
It's your passion, right?
Right.
But then as a business owner, your everyday job is actually not about your passion.
Okay.
It's about, like you say, dealing with employees, solving problems, or make sure everybody's on the same page, which is not an easy job.
Right.
Right. So I think so the Asian business owner, our thinking is more about how to like survive, how to make sure that everybody gets paycheck, right?
Okay. Yes.
So usually we don't give too much like benefits, because we want to make sure the company can survive first. But then
Got
when the employees get into problems like personal problems or whatever problems, we will try to help them without them asking, because we treat them like a family.
Got it.
So
okay.
it's a different way of Western thinking.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So I think because Harvard Square HS2 Academy is in America, and we want our employees to be happy.
Right.
So it was a long way. Like we changed a lot of things, and then today, I think I wouldn't say like everybody's happy in the company, but I try.
Okay.
I try to make them feel good that they're working for this company. They at the end of the day, they're happy with their job, and they are proud of what they do. I think that is very important, especially in the education business.
Yes.
We want our employee to stay with us. The longer, the better.
Right.
Yeah, because
course.
Experience is very important.
Okay.
Yes.
Vickie Chiang right now running HS2. What would you say to the Vickie Chiang running HS2 a couple years prior when it wasn't as big as it is now? What advice would you give her?
I'm not a very ambitious person.
Okay.
So it's very interesting that you, when you interview me as a business person,
Mhm.
because I got into this business for my children as a mother, and then I just arrange and everything according to like what I think will be the best for my own children.
Okay.
So I hired this teacher because this teacher will be the best for my children.
Got it.
So I do this, I arrange this class because I feel that this class will benefit my children.
Mhm.
So I think, it happened to be, what I think is what most of the parents think.
Right.
Because they also want the best for their own children, right? So I feel that, if I want to say something to the Vickie Chiang like a few years ago, I feel that I would say that don't lose your passion.
Okay.
Because it's very hard to run business, especially in America, because there are a lot of requirements for business owners. So I think it's kind of like, we need to keep a balance of what we like, and also make sure the business is running well.
Okay. So I think a lot of people have dealt with what you almost dealt with, which is almost losing your passion and burning out as a person. So I wanted to ask you if there was a moment in these past years where you really felt like you wanted to just give up this entire company.
Okay. The other day I read a book, and it talked about, I don't remember which company. The CEO say something very interesting. He say, for the past few years, I was the CEO of the company. I was happy only for 8 days. There were only 8 days.
Wow.
I was happy. The rest of the day, I was just struggling. I think it's just part of the job, because every day you deal with problems. Every day, you try to solve issues. But that's what most business owners do. But if you want me to choose again, if if we go back to 25 years ago,
Yeah.
I think I would choose the same path.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes, because
That's great.
I feel like, I have helped so many students going to
Yes.
good colleges, and so many parents are happy with the result. If I do other job, my life will probably be the same. But then, this path I chose, I help so many people fulfill their dreams, which is so important, because education, getting to a good college, is the first thing that is going to change your life.
That's true.
Yeah, I think, it's something that it's save the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, to start with, right? It's helping people get good education. Yeah.
Have you ever had first-hand experience with a student who is enrolling in your academy that you feel like you have seen them grown and has really been the epitome of what you just said about helping other people?
Oh, so many. You will not believe. I have so many students. Every year I graduate almost 700 students from this company, and then we constantly have over 2,000 students, because we have 9 offices in California, right? So wherever I go, I meet parents, right?
Right.
If I suck, if I don't do a good job, I'll be in such trouble. I don't have to go anywhere, because I meet parents all the time, right? And then all the time I meet parents, I don't know them, but they know me. Oh, thank you so much. You help my son, and you save our family. Oh, I hear that all the time. As a matter of fact, it's so interesting, because this morning I went to Irvine, because somebody in China want to introduce her relative to me, because they just immigrate here. And then I met the parents, and then we start talking, and they realize actually their daughter is my student.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they didn't know that, because they didn't know who I am. They didn't know I own HS2 Academy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then they say, "Oh my God, I want to thank you in person."
Oh.
Yeah, because our daughter improved so much in your with your help, and then you have so many good teachers, and we were so happy about her progress. So it's so interesting. Imagine if I don't do a good job, what would they say, right? They was, "Oh my God, you're such a terrible person," right?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very proud of that. My husband, we are actually together managing this company. He's a very good communicator. So he helps a lot. Together, I think, we share our duties, and then I think turned out to be very good, because he's very good in managing employees, and I'm very good with marketing.
Had you always known that you could balance your kids and your business life, or did you just fall into running that kindergarten because it was more convenient for you?
Okay, horoscope. I'm a Cancer.
Oh, I'm an Aries.
Okay. Okay, my children, 2 of them are Aries.
Oh, yeah. Great.
So, Cancer people, Cancer women are the best mom.
Oh, really?
The first thing we care about is our family, our children. Yeah. So I didn't choose to do both. I didn't choose to run business and to be a full-time mother
Mm-hmm.
at the same time. I didn't choose the path, but then I think it just turned out to be that way
Oh,
because
okay.
I want to take care of my children, but also I need to run a business to make a living,
Right.
right? So at that time, I didn't have too much choices. I think I didn't plan it that way, but it turned out to be.
And my last question for you is, to all the aspiring female business people out listening today, what advice do you have for them?
Feel that whatever you do, don't do it for the money.
Okay.
Yeah, do it for your passion. If you don't have passion, you give up easily.
Okay.
You every day you want to give up. Every day you go to the office, you want to give up.
Yeah.
But if it's your passion, it kind of help. And then also, when you are a business person, you have to be very calm, and you always want to think logically. Like, I think emotionally, yes, we are human. We tend to be emotional sometimes,
Right.
but I think you want to separate emotion and the reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being my first guest on my podcast. This is a lot of fun, and I think we all learned a lot about you, and we all look up to a lot of female business owners like you.